And if you ever want to chime in on that chat, feel free to do so. And I'm going to post this right up here on the Facebook page so that you have it. Okay. Beautiful. So that's all posted and ready to go. Again, if you want to join me in the chat, feel free. And we will start our day with some deep breathing before we move on. Again, I'm just starting with a pencil and a piece of paper. So this is all about manifesting. So when we're manifesting our new reality, we want to kind of clear away any thought that's holding us back, right? So we're going to do that through just some pranayama, some breath work, and then we will move on to being in the space to start manifesting and to be really creative. So why don't we go ahead and start with one hand on our heart or on our chest and the other one on our belly. We're going to take a nice deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Let's go ahead and do that again. And one last time, a nice big breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Let's go ahead and just take a moment to just notice the body, notice the breath. Just kind of settle in and ground before we move on. Good. Let's take the palms of the hands together and warm them up. And once they're nice and toasty warm, you can place them over your eyes. And just blink the eyes open underneath the palms. And then release the hands down. Awesome. Again, my name is Jody. Welcome to the Creator Within, where we're manifesting our new reality through using art as our catalyst today. Behind me is the yoga studio. So this is where we practice in-person classes. And if you'd like to join for one of those, the schedule is updated monthly, and I have a new schedule that just got posted on the Facebook page. So feel free to check that out. I have a bunch of cool classes on there, very accessible and fun. So okay, we're going to get down to it. So today I have my piece of paper and I have my pencil. And when we're thinking about creating and manifesting using art, what we're going to be doing is simply drawing things that might have some significance or meaning to us. So in that case, what we can kind of think about doing is creating artwork that has meaning and significance through symbols. So if you think of a symbol, you think of a heart, right? A heart means maybe love. It's a broken heart. It would be sadness or grief or pain, right? So we're going to use symbolism. It's one of my favorite topics while I teach art. I'm a certified art teacher and a certified yoga teacher. So one of the things that I like to do is bring in a ton of symbolism into my artwork. So a lot of times I'll start with kind of this frame or this boundary to break and to kind of play with, because that's almost like me saying, okay, I am where I am today and I'm going to grow from there and I'm going to manifest bringing it in. So if you want to follow along with me, you absolutely can. If you want me to help you draw something in particular that's kind of, you know, something you're thinking about, but you're not really sure how to put that into symbols, we can definitely work on that together. Just drop in on the chat and I'll absolutely help you out with that. So what I like to do first is that boundary, right? So I'm just going to draw some lines today. And this will be where my picture kind of lives. And you can draw anything you like. I'm just going to go with this shape that's just kind of coming up for me now. It's not quite a square. Kind of reminded me of a house real quick. So maybe there's something there I need to look at or observe a little bit deeper. And for this is really just getting us started, right? This is just a quick little warm up. Okay, I've put pencil to paper. This shape really doesn't have much of a significance other than this is where we're starting, right? It's a nice place to start with a boundary. Your boundary could be an oval, a circle, it could be wiggly, straight lines, totally up to you what you want to do with it. So once you have that down, I find that the next thing is to really focus and manifest some energy on what is easiest for you. So sometimes we think like, I want $1 million. Well, that's a task, right? That's a big ask. And it can be hard to even envision your life with $1 million. I know, like, Rob and I always tease each other, like, oh, what would you do if you won the Powerball, or what would you do one if you won $1 million? And it kind of goes around and around and around because it's such a big undertaking, right? To even imagine that, because there's so much to imagine. So what I find is really helpful is if you start with something that you know brings you joy, so you're just vibrationally getting on that kind of path without much resistance, if any at all. So if I was going to do one thing that brought me joy, and it's really easy for me, is anytime I'm not feeling well and I just need a bit of comfort, it's definitely my cats. And Rob would agree. So I'm just going to draw my kitty. I have Whitaker and I have Monty. And I'm just going to kind of, as I'm drawing, I'm not worried about what they look like on here. That's not the point. It's not to make a beautiful piece of artwork, although it will be gorgeous because it's your manifestation. But one of the things that uh, we do now is, while you're drawing something that's really easy, comes very easy to you, is to kind of just take a minute and go, okay, this comes really easy. I'm going to just float in this really happy space, this really flowing space. So when Whitaker sits there and he's so cute, I'm just going to draw him being super cute and just like kind of looking over his shoulder, and he has a little tail. And it's easy, right? You can, like your pets, unless your pet's like going through something right now, that might be something you don't really want to touch right at the second. And I totally understand that. Go for something a little bit easier, something that comes just a little bit more freer without all the work. And you'll watch it kind of go from there. So just kind of coming into something a little gentler on the system. And these don't have to, like I said, these don't have to look like anything. So don't feel like you have to spend like an hour trying to make the perfect flower or perfect cat or anything like that. It's really not what we're kind of trying to do. So what helps me to get back, I'm just to repeat this and to kind of push it a little bit forward, is what really helps when I'm just having a bad day or a hard time. I just love snuggling with my cats. I think that they're amazing. They're terrific. They don't ever, do anything wrong. Besides, one jumps on the counter, which is kind of a pain. But what are you going to do? And they just make me really happy. So it's really easy to just kind of lean into that energetically. So here he is. And the other thing is that once you kind of start with that first one and you're kind of like, ooh, yeah, that feels really good. I love my pet. I love whatever you drew, and chime in the chat. If you have something like, oh, I really love my car, then yeah, draw your car. If you really love going for walks, draw like, I don't know, a pair of tennis shoes. If you love just doing different things, bring them into your artwork. Use that to help launch you into the next space, right? Okay, so I really love my cat, so he's there. And now I'm going to start kind of thinking, okay, I'm in this vein of manifesting. I feel really happy that my cat is in this picture, and something I want to bring with me in this journey is my cat. And so, like, the next thing I'm going to do is kind of like really hone in and sink down into what it is that I want to bring into my life right now. So, good health is always one, right? And so I like to kind of use plants a lot symbolically. And in this one, I'm just going to do this big, beautiful flower that's kind of crawling up the edge of the frame. And um, we actually had a tornado rip by through here this weekend, and my poor gardens were completely crushed. And I know they'll grow back, but to watch, all that happen, it's like, oh. So I don't want to really bring up that right now. What I'm going to start talking about and changing in my pattern is now I want to talk about, okay, well, but my flowers are going to grow back, right? They got hurt, they got nailed with all this hail, but they're going to grow back, and they're going to grow back so beautifully and be full of life and be really lovely. So I'm just going to do like these big open petals and just letting all of these wonderful blooms just kind of happen. And again, I'm not too worried about what it looks like. I just really want it to symbolize what I want to feel and what I want to see. So healthy, so beautiful, good health, growing. And sometimes it helps to kind of talk out the verbiage that you want to hear, right? It kind of draws that in. You're also tapping in on that in a different way. It's always nice to do that for yourself. So here I have this plant. It's like, ooh, okay. We're going up there. We're so healthy. We feel really good. Our body's working the way it should be. We have our friend there. The friend is our cat, and the cat is soft and cuddly and lovely, and everything is wonderful. And you see how we're starting to manifest that. We're using the verbiage, we're using the words, and we're starting to conjure a feeling, right? And if this isn't coming easy, that's okay. Drop me a chat, right? I will help you. I will guide in that. You don't have to get super personal if you don't want to, but you are absolutely welcome to share anything that might be cropping up for you. Okay, so we want to feel healthy. We have our friend. We're cuddling our friend. We want to feel healthy. You just kind of go back and forth in that vein. It sounds a little repetitive, but you're changing patterns in the brain, and that's what it needs, to believe it or not. So the next thing is there is a new ranch that's going to be hopefully opening up within a month or so. And I really want to be part of that. I'm not sure how I fit into that equation yet, and I'm not going to worry about that, but I just want to be there, and I want to feel good being there. So that's what I'm going to bring in now. And I'm going to do that by making like these rolling hills. And yeah, and then I'll do a silhouette of a horse on the hill. Silhouettes are really nice because they don't require a ton of detail because a silhouette's a shadow, right? So you don't have to like do all the detail when you're drawing. You can just do a silhouette, and it kind of gets the point across. And maybe there's like a barn. So maybe you're manifesting what you want. Maybe it's a new job. Maybe it's to go or travel to a place. Maybe there's like some event that's coming up for you. And then I really see a bunch of people doing yoga at this place, this new place. I don't know if that's just me with my yoga mat out there right now, but I really see this new barn. I got to visit it recently. Just having the room for this creation process, having this room for, doing workshops and having a lot of people there and getting to visit not only with the horses, but this whole wellness component. And so, like, I'm really just trying to bring in all this good feeling. So I have my two yoga mats here, and maybe if you're traveling or you want to travel somewhere, maybe you bring in how do you want to feel when you're there, and then you use some symbols to help get you there. So I have this whole thing. I love doing my yoga with my little cup of tea. And in the studio here, I actually offer tea and snacks after class because I just think it's like the coolest thing to go and have a snack with somebody. Like, I feel like we get older and that's no longer something we really do, and that's where all the cool ideas come up. So here's my little cup with the tea. And I don't know. You might sharpener. Grab another pencil. I'm doing yoga, overlooking the hills and the paddocks, and everything is right with the world, right? Another thing, you could add scale into this as symbols, right? Like you could say, like, oh, I want a big, big house, so the house is like the biggest thing in the artwork, right? So like whatever's you're kind of dropping into right now, tuning into, like definitely ride that wave. If you're like, oh, I want to do something like gigantic, or I want to do like teeny tiny things that are just like holding up something, we can work with that for sure. So in the sky, I got to think about it for a little bit. If there's something you want help with while you're manifesting, reach out on that chat. I don't know. I've maybe just this connection with the universe and bringing that in, just that feeling like everything's going to be okay and that the universe is right there and that we're all connected. And so I've made this beautiful planet, Jupiter-esque, not quite Jupiter. And then maybe I want to tell a story in the stars. Maybe there's something that I want to bring in the stars. The heater just made a weird noise. I probably should put some more horses, right? You can't just have one. And I don't know. Sometimes, maybe that's all you want. Maybe that's all you really feel like. Maybe you're a little bit tired and these things like kind of clunk up the system. That's all right. Ride the wave. Maybe there's not supposed to be anything else that you're asking for right now. You got to kind of like ride that whole system out. And it really does serve because again, we're changing our patterns, right? So I draw really fast. So if you're following along, I'm also trying to give you like a minute to catch up. I know that like I just go and it flows for me to draw this, to move this, to put that, and that's good. That's what we want to start seeing. But if it's challenging to get started with that, that's okay. Like know that we're going to be spending an hour here, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you can't do this for longer, or maybe you do this over the course of a week. So don't feel like you're kind of stuck with what I'm saying in this moment. Like, enjoy this process and have it be something that's really life giving and flowing. Um, yeah, so I'm just putting some texture into my planet. And then I kind of just want everything to flow naturally. Like, I want to be at peace. So for that, I think what I'm just going to do is just do like some really wavy lines that just they just move, right? Like no reason to fight anything. It's just been a weird week. It's only Tuesday, but it's been weird. And maybe that's it. Maybe that's all that really needs to be right now is just to find some peace, some deep relaxation, right? It doesn't always have to be like a big thing, it can just be gentle too, which is good. If that's what you're finding, if you're finding you're a little stuck, a little stumped, it can absolutely just be a gentle practice, right? It doesn't have to be this big thing that changes everything. Also, maybe you're really content right now and you're just trying to like level it out, balance it out. So that can be good too. We're supposed to be getting the driveway paved, and for that we need to wait to put additional garden beds in. So not fair for me. I'm like jonesing to put these gardens in and be able to plant because I know the season it goes so fast, right? So I'm just going to do a few little flowers here, and maybe that'll help manifest that a little bit quicker. Right? Nothing wrong with that. Also, I love to fish. Rob's caught fish after fish after fish lately, and I've caught nothing but like weeds and seaweed. I'm gonna put in just like a really nice looking fish. We have the Lake Association first annual Earth Day celebration this weekend. We had to move it for the kids because they were out of town. The youth group was doing something special, so we have it this weekend, and so that's a shout out to that. If you're in the Lake Huntington area, then please stop by. We'd love to see you, and I will be doing an arts and crafts table where we're going to be drawing some fish and just having a lot of fun with that. And then there's going to be cookies, an ambulance, fire truck, tons of cool things, face painting, story time. It's definitely set up for the kiddos. But I think it'll be a really, really fun event. The raffle alone is fantastic. I'm giving away a retreat with that raffle. If you want, I'm giving it away, but I'm donating a retreat, and that could be really cool. And then I'm also doing the table, and there's so many cool prizes for the raffle. So just come for that alone because that definitely is going to be top notch there. All right, I want to add like one more thing. I want to bring in one more thing, and this is one of my tried and true things is money, right? We always talk about how we want more money all the time, right? But always talking about how I want more money. You know, you got to turn it into I have money, money is here, money is available. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little piece of jewelry just kind of slipping out of here, and What I like about this is that I use jewelry as my symbol for money because jewelry is like money you wear, right? So you're literally wearing it. I don't wear any jewelry. I think I mentioned that a lot. But jewelry is one of those things that you definitely wear. And so it's like physically manifested money. And money is coming and money is flowing and it's easy to get money. Goes right into the checkbook, right? These are all the things. Don't even have to worry about it. Money comes easy, finances come easy. Oh, it's so easy. This is so easy. And I'm not even saying that sarcastically. Like, it's so easy. It just is. You just move from that ease, from that peace. It just is. It's so easy. It's so gorgeous. It's so life-giving. It's so lovely. It just feels real, real good in our picture right now. You don't even have to do anything. Don't have to think. It's just peaceful. It's easy. Good health. Friends being there, right? Catching big fish, growing beautiful gardens. Just comes. Just comes. It comes. It comes. Not even a problem. Alrighty. So again, this class used to be a full hour, but I really feel like this time frame of 45 minutes does the job. If there's anything that you want to share, anything that's like really flowing right now, anything that's kind of, causing a little bit of crunchiness in the process, chime in on that chat. I'm here for you. And I'm just going to start by doing some outlining, then I'll erase, and then this will be available for you to color. And at this point, if you choose to outline your artwork, you absolutely can. I suggest micron pens. Sharpie markers work great too. Ballpoint pen will get it done. Unless you're wanting to do some watercoloring with it afterwards, then you really want a permanent marker like a Sharpie. I really enjoy this way of doing my manifestation because I'm a very visual person. And this is a bit different than like a vision board would be because it is in a way a vision board, but I'm not looking through a bunch of magazines or anything like that. I'm more of just letting whatever comes to me, whatever I want to bring into my life, to flow in this way where I'm actually physically creating it on the paper. And I think that has profound ability here to just kind of change thought patterns. Plus, the cool thing about this is, and the same with the vision board, is that you could hang this up somewhere personal that you're going to look every day and kind of go, oh, that's really cool. And I'm going to remember that this is what I'm calling into my life. So then you're going to kind of just sit there with your manifestation for just a bit longer, before it kind of just turns into a memory. It will become something that you're seeing every day. This was a little big for these. That's okay. So sometimes that can be really nice just to see what you're calling in and what you're trying to manifest and be like, oh yeah, I remember how easy I wanted everything to be and how it is easy and how it flows and how it moves from that rhythm. This is my largemouth bass. Very, very specific. It kind of looks like a cross between the catfish that we have and the largemouth bass, and it's ironic because, well, not even ironic. It kind of makes sense because that's what the kids are doing. They're doing a project with catfish and bass, so I've made a bunch of them. I'm probably going to need a few more. So, what's driving you right now? What's kind of helping you make some manifestation your reality here? Are you adding a lot of detail to your artwork? Are you kind of just like, oh, okay, this is an interesting concept, but I'm a little stuck? It's all okay. You can leave a comment too. So, this will be up for anybody who wants to watch it after. And of course, have the link for the artwork in it. So if you're like, well, I really couldn't come up with anything and you want to give it a shot later, you can absolutely do that. And then leave a comment if you get stuck or you need something, or maybe there's something that you're like, okay, well, I'm kind of understanding, but why are we doing this, right? Like, what is this? And I'll be happy to help in any way. Now, you can physically manifest things too, right? By bringing it into your household. So, like, say you really want a new puppy, right? Who wouldn't want that? But you want a new puppy. And if you draw a picture of your new puppy, you already brought your puppy into your house, right? So you bring your puppy into your house through your imagery, and then your new puppy will find you. And that's how it works. You know, it sounds very simple. That's because it is. And as much as we sit here and go, oh, that will never work, that will never work, you're right. And if you believe it will, then it will. And it's really that simple and yet that complex at the same time. Um, you know, there's a lot of practicing of aversion and attachment and kind of moving through those complex yet very simple ideas of just how to conjure anything really into your life, how to bring anything in and create it. So, you know, if you're kind of struggling with what to draw, just something that you'd love to see in your life. Maybe something you'd love to see in the world, you know? If a bunch of people are working to manifest something, that manifests twice as fast. So, I don't color these because these are going to be available to you if you are interested in coloring them yourself. But I do this. So funny because I haven't drawn Whitaker or any cats in my artwork in a while. He's super happy in this one. He's a tiger cat. He's a gray striped tiger cat. And he is my buddy. He knows it. He knows he's my buddy. I have this dream, this like bucket list item of horseback riding in Peru and visiting like Machu Picchu and um, doing all that lovely stuff. And I just haven't gotten the chance to go yet. And I don't know when I'll go. But maybe that's something that I'm trying to manifest with all these beautiful scenery is like your mind really does know what it wants. And maybe it's like, oh yeah, like I definitely want to go and do that thing. But your subconscious knows, but maybe your consciousness is like thinking about other stuff all the time. I think I'm supposed to be getting a new computer soon. I don't know when. Soon, and then I will be able to do some more artwork too. Okay. So that worked out. It's all inked up. Like I said, up here kind of got a little bit too thick, but that's okay. I'm going to use my eraser and just erase off all of the pencil line. This is nice if you want to come in with either colored pencils or if you wanted to use watercolor on your own artwork. And then you can get as detailed as you like. You don't have to be at this point at all, like if you need some more time to really sit with it. And then I really encourage that you spend this time just in a really nice space, like a really nice mental space. There's no worry here. You just created your own reality, right? You created maybe this little lens that you're looking through, and you're like, oh, these nice little things are there. And it can just be that. It doesn't have to be how you're going to change ABC or, we had a tornado go by. Like, I don't have to worry about that. That's not what is on my plate right now. What's on my plate is just feeling good about what's in front of me, right? And letting those feelings just kind of be there. So I'm going to dump this out. You also don't need to sit here and manifest every single thing that you want to bring into your reality at this moment. You could just focus on one nice little thing that you're like, oh, I just want to be happy that my little kitty cat friend is visiting. Like, that's okay. It's probably a good place to start. So again, I'm here. You can chime in on the chat. We've got about 5 more minutes of class left. If there's something that interests you or something you're working on, you can go ahead and share that with me. This is cool. I like the frame I did today a lot. Like it was like it reminded me of a house at first, but then it kind of had this like almost like a really neat window look to it. So I was pretty happy with that. And sometimes it's just, okay, what makes you happy with your picture? What do you like drawing? What is something that, you can add? It's just cool to be the creator of your own reality in such a major way. So here I'm just using this to create my picture so that you can go ahead and look at this later, and if you want to print it out, you can. They're all available for printout. I really love the idea of everyone sharing these images and just being like, okay, like I just want to color in something that feels really good and isn't too intense, right? All right. And I always try to name them something kind of like super obvious to what we were doing. Like this is going to be cat and window. And I feel like that's just nice when you're trying to find things later. But also like it's just how innocent is it that it can just be a cat in a window, right? So, all right, everybody, if that is all and no one has anything they'd like to share, then I'm going to sign off here. Again, I want to say thank you so much for joining me for the Creator Within, where we manifest our new reality through creating on our paper. This was today's artwork, and I am so happy that you were here joining me for this. And please like and subscribe, of course. I'm here to facilitate. And yeah, thank you again. I hope you have a warm and wonderful rest of your week. Take care, everyone.